How's it going, guys? Matt here with Carolina Coops. Welcome to Video Chicken. To my left is my host, Kristen Warren.
I think this one really could be a male.
Oh, we got one that's hatching? This show is for you guys. This is the bass fiber. Y'all know chickens are the gateway drug into homesteading.
We survived with only one trip to the ER.
Coyotes are everywhere.
It's about time you show up, Matt.
Uh-huh.
It's a great straw.
It is time, finally, for Chicken Police. What do you think they defecate every 12 seconds? Is that true? Now it is officially noon because the buzzer went off.
Well, I've never counted.
That's long road.
That's a good one with the cords and everything.
And more chickens.
Well, the math you do now, Daddy, is chicken math.
Calm down, Matt. Calm down.
I think Ingrid got a little nervous on that one. She got a little premature on the unmuting button. Is what happened. Yeah, welcome. Oh, is that what it was? I see what you're up to. There's our wonderful intro. I'm not hearing it very well. I'm not sure what's going on. Our intro that apparently we're being attacked for copywriting. Not sure what happens, but it's happening. Anyways, so yeah, I just sat down, so I gotta get my wits about me real quick. Yeah, happy Friday. It is noon. It is December 31st, 2021. So happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, we were supposed to have some Happy New Year paraphernalia. I think Nan's running a little bit behind. You know, the hats, the glasses, the blowers, but it's probably best we don't because I probably wouldn't stop with the, the horns and whatnot. Anyway, so we're going to give everyone a chance to get in here. Please, thank you for being here. Remember, this show is for you guys. If you have any questions or anything at all, please let us know. We're going to be reviewing a bunch of questions today, but you can type them in the comments, and we will see them here, and we will do our best to get to them. Also, if you don't have any questions or comments, please just let us know. Give us a wave. Let us know who you are, where you're watching from. We always love that. And also, I cannot emphasize enough to please make sure you are doing everything you can to help us to promote the show, which is how can we promote this show, Ingrid? Yes. See, I turned Ingrid up. I hope everyone can hear her now. I think that's well, you might want to bring your fader down just a little bit, just a touch. I didn't have a chance to listen to you. You're number 3. Just a little bit on the fader. That's a little bit better. Yes, that's better. So, and make sure we're sounding good. Ingrid's claiming that she's got reverb. I don't know, but now that the sound effects was a little dicey, that made me a little nervous. So just make sure we're sounding good. And also, the other thing too, I don't know if I told you guys, I changed the streaming settings to high def. I think our internet here can handle it. So we're looking even better. You can see really well where I ran into a chicken coop. Yeah, I promise. I went through puberty 25, 30 years ago. I ran into a chicken coop.
Yes, I had one, a week ago or 2 weeks ago. I had that nice gash that healed nicely, actually. From running into a fence post chasing his chicken. So you ran into a chicken coop? I was going to ask you.
It was actually a coop that was packed in the back. And a board was sticking out that normally gets cut off for the packaging. I ran right into it. I had my head down. Chicken coop for the soul. That's someone new. I don't recall seeing that. Is that a new viewer, a new follower, new listener? Oh, awesome. Speaking of YouTube comments, so it's been a while since we've done Video Chicken Police, YouTube Chicken Police. No, well, I do want to get into it, but we're going to let people come in here. We got all kinds of things going. I know. We got a lot of surprises. I have some surprises, too.
Okay.
I would love to share. And I think I need to... That is... Okay, thank you, Rudy. Because she is loud. So I will check if Kristen's number 2 and...
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you're loud. I hear you, which means... I'm not sure what's going on. If anybody else feels the same way, we definitely want to get the audio correct. Can't really hear Kristen well. What's going on? All right, I'm going to go over and check something real quick.
Switch.
Is her mic off?
No, if her mic was off.
they would be able to hear me through your mic. So maybe this one is.
Oh, I wonder if your volume got up. Or no, you have a voltage on your mic. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh boy, we had a good run
Okay,
for a
so
while.
now it looks like I got here first.
We had a good run for a while.
Is everything plugged in?
No, she's got.
Thanks everybody for.
Oh, is that better? Is something unplugged?
Yeah, let me know. Have them.
Was that better?
Give us some comments.
Let us know if you can hear Kristen now, people. This will be fun. Now I have to edit this. For the podcast.
We haven't touched anything, so I'm not sure.
Okay, so no better?
No, Jerry says no.
All right, it's gonna possibly clip. I'm not sure.
We can change seats?
How about now?
All right. I got 14 people watching.
Kristen,
Yes?
please sit down. Please stay in the mic.
Okay.
And please
How
keep
about
talking. Okay, can we hear Kristen now?
Mike Trapp says that he hears the sound effects way better than Matt or Kristen.
Okay, well, I also have my show and tell. But no, wait.
No show and tell. What in the world's going on? What happened? All right, well, we're gonna change something real quick. We haven't touched anything. I don't know what could possibly be going on. All right, so what I need to know now is
everything plugged in?
All right, how about now?
Everything's plugged in. Are we muted?
No difference.
Turn Matt's mic off and see if you can still hear me.
All right, my mic is muted.
Okay, so how about now, Ingrid?
Well,
I don't know.
Is there something with this thing? Because I'm hearing you.
Yeah, I was just wondering if you were just hearing me through Matt's mic.
I'm just hearing you in the room.
Okay.
But they be fine.
Well, it says need volume up, no change. Hang on, just a little technical difficulty. Meanwhile, I will just keep talking and looking at, what is this? A new Poultry Catalog.
Who's that from?
This is Murray McMurray.
Ah.
I wonder if they took me off the list because
Okay,
I haven't ordered lately.
So Mike says that we sound as loud.
Oh, Rudy says good.
All right.
Is that better?
I think we got something. There it is. All right. Everybody's good.
What was it?
Stay calm. Just give me a second. I'll figure it out. I think I know what happened.
What was it?
All right. Well, this is.
Are you back to work?
We are going to need to hire an audio engineer.
Did you
I might know one.
Did you just have a headset drama there?
I did. I got to get some wireless ones.
You don't really need it because I'm sitting right here.
Dang it.
He
Yeah.
wants to hear all the things.
I need it. And it bothers me that you feel you don't.
I really don't.
But you do.
No, you're sitting right here.
But if you don't have it on, you can't hear the
You can't.
party noise maker.
It's just the sound effects, but I know what you guys are doing.
Okay, you're too special to hear sound effects.
Oh, look at the Top Hat special.
All right.
You are trouble today.
Hey, let's start the show.
All right, yay!
Okay, we're all here.
So just so our listeners can understand what happened.
Okay, here we.
Messing around.
Oh.
She's gonna learn that once I take control of the mouse, she needs to let go of the steering wheel. Okay, now you can touch the mouse.
Nope.
Whoop.
Forget it now. Now I don't want to play.
Okay.
So what happened was
Here we are.
one of the settings.
12:09. Welcome to the show.
One of the settings was off in the computer.
Okay.
That's all it was.
I'm glad you found it.
So it must have been defaulting back to the mic in the laptop. So I don't know what it is. The last couple of weeks, everyone's like, "You talk so loud." Even my kids are like, "Oh." So
Loud
people had no
talker.
problem hearing me as loud as Ingrid, and she's right in front of the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So Happy New Year. We are now going to get started with the show. Whew. And we got a lot of questions and comments to go through. Did you print off the itinerary? Is that
I
what it's called?
didn't because I was just going to feed you the questions. You don't want to know the questions.
I don't want to know the questions. You're gonna
Okay,
feed-
Yeah, so we have a surprise itinerary.
So what is it that we are going to do today, Ingrid?
We are going to discuss Oops.
Please don't.
I'm sorry. It's very crowded here. We're going to discuss the top questions that we get over the whole
top
year.
questions.
The top questions that we get.
I can probably guess what a few of those are.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
And we got some new questions that came in from Instagram. So thank you, people who are on Instagram.
Yes, if you're not following us on Instagram and or TikTok, we did start some TikTok videos. I'm having a hell of a time with them, I'll be honest with you. They're not easy for me to do. Go there.
And we have some questions from some friends and family fans.
Okay.
So we have lots of, there's questions, there's visuals, there's
Yes.
YouTube, Chicken Police, there's so much.
Okay,
my
good.
show and tell.
Okay, well, let's
and,
go.
And show and tell, apparently.
Let's go ahead and get started. Now, before we begin, Kristen's like, well, do I need to go get a coffee mug? Why don't you open that?
It's got my name on it.
Ingrid, can you come over here, please?
Okay.
I have my own coffee mug.
Yeah.
This feels like a morning show.
You officially have your own coffee.
Oh, that's wonderful.
But the font did not. Come on in. Come on, Ingrid. Everyone wants to
And
see
it has
Ingrid.
my name on it.
Yes, it does. So there's many gifts. They didn't come down until.
Sure.
Here. Open that up. Yeah, I did not approve that. It was supposed to be pamphlet, but they know how much when you say sure, how it gets under my skin.
This is that's.
Oh, you got nons. What are the, yours is all. Oh, gosh, darn it, that's nons. Well, look at nons. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. All right. So you have a coffee mug that it's hilarious what it says.
Yeah, mine says sure because Matt hates it when I say sure.
I actually really hate when everyone says sure, but for people that I really need to know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Ingrid, I apologize.
Well,
Your
now
mug.
I need some coffee.
Yeah, it's right. Well.
Oh.
Okay, so that was all for nothing, right?
Okay.
Ingrid, everyone.
Okay, I have two things for show and tell. First of all, I noticed when we did the Guess the Breeds a couple weeks ago that I was wearing my favorite feather pattern. So today I'm wearing another of my favorite feather pattern, and that's the penciled.
So for the people listening to the podcast down the road that is not live, which we are live right now.
Yes.
I apologize. Yes, that is a very feathery looking dress.
Yes. It's like the penciling of the dark Brahma or the partridge or the Wyandotte. Yes.
Absolutely.
So
you did have something from show and tell.
I did have show and tell.
And if people didn't hear us in the beginning, Matt got a head wound from running into a coop.
Yeah. Chicken-related injuries all
Yes.
the time.
All
here.
the time. Apparently.
Sometimes I get scratches on my arm when I'm moving chickens a lot.
My morning, I got pooped on. So
yeah, and I was gonna bring my pocket hen, my purse hen, but she had dirty feet this morning, so I couldn't bring her.
So what did you bring today for show and tell?
So, but this weekend, or actually yesterday, my neighbor is working on a fabulous raised bed garden, and she texted me and said, hey, do you have any of that chicken stuff for my garden? So I went out to the coop that I haven't cleaned out in a long time.
What is a long time?
Years.
What are years? People want to know.
I don't know if I've ever cleaned it out. It's the blue coop.
You have never. Oh, the old cottage coop?
Yeah, when did you drop that off at my house?
2017.
Yeah, okay, so I haven't cleaned it out since then.
Was that 4 years, 5 years?
And look what was in there. It's like dirt. Dirt. Oh.
Don't. How does it smell? So what are you showing us right now?
Just, I mean.
that was from the deep litter.
Yeah, the deep litter, how it ages. Okay, so this is like deep litter that I would say that's like 6 months old or a year old.
Okay, what is it? Tell me what it is.
This is industrial hemp.
That's the industrial hemp that we
with chicken
sell.
poop.
Well, this one is with chicken poop, so that's so you couldn't just. I mean, I guess everyone has seen what industrial hemp looks like when it's brand new. So
Right.
that's like the beginning stages, and here it is broken down.
Yeah, after years, it turns into dirt. I mean, that is just
that
really
amazing?
like dirt.
And what's fascinating is this is when you. Okay, what are you doing?
I mean, it's
you're,
I'm just
making
showing how granular it
granulated,
is.
maybe.
Yes. I don't know what that is. But.
So it breaks down into dirt, which just makes sense. And this is why you often make the argument. Hold on now.
Oops. Sorry. I was just getting it out of the way in case anybody.
Okay.
What?
So
What? What's going on?
nothing.
so
Well, I just never know what you're gonna do.
Yes.
But this is a great example. I'm glad
Yeah.
you brought this because
Oh, and she was so happy to get it. I was just filling up 5-gallon buckets.
right, and you can feel the weight difference.
Really?
Absolutely.
It's more dense.
It's more
yeah,
dense.
it is. It does feel like dirt.
Absolutely. So the argument you make, here's what I'm getting to, and here is an example of why you make this argument. You will claim that you never have to clean out your deep litter.
Yeah.
Because it'll continue and continue and continue to break down.
Until your neighbor asks for it. Yeah.
So right there. Now I'm going to smell. I didn't smell when you opened it, which is a good sign. Yeah. That smells, I hate to say it, it smells good.
It smells earthy.
It smells like you're going into a greenhouse.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Great show and tell. Did you do this when you were a little girl when they asked you to bring something in for show and tell?
No.
Here's my chicken poop.
No, it was my late in life passion, chickens.
We have a hi from Slovenia.
Slovenia. Nice.
Thank
I love
you.
that we're able to reach around the world. Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing.
I wonder what time it is in Slovenia. All right.
Probably
I'm
like
so happy we
6
got the
o'clock,
box.
6
Also,
p.m.
before I forget, we did a show about chickens. Was it 2 weeks ago now?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember. Oh, yeah. 'cause
I
last
love
year
that
was
show.
And, of course, 2022, hot off the press. We do not get paid for this. I wish they would. But I talked about with using this catalog that if you're thinking about what chicken breeds you should get and what you should, how serious you should take the verbiage in there about what they talk about the chickens. Murray McMurray is just a great catalog. And what I love about it is just great reading material, especially before smartphones were invented. And they send it to you for free. And it's funny, too, how when you're thumbing through it, how you can find some new breeds you never even heard of. And, of course, you got your go-to. Oh, look at those wine dots. Look. Yeah, just you probably can't see it. Just so beautiful. So, anyways, great reading material. I'm not saying, hey, go ahead and order from them, but I want people to know you can order chickens online. And it's funny, the catalog seems to come out earlier and earlier. It's like back to school shopping. It just comes out earlier and earlier every time. So the new catalog is out. If you didn't get one, I would highly recommend signing up for it. And other hatcheries do it as well. I love Whelp. That's where my favorite breed, Silver Lace Cochins, come from. So,
are we going to order those this year?
We need
we should.
We need to get our C of O so I can have the chicken coop put in the front.
Okay.
Badly. We had someone come yesterday wanting to see a chicken coop. Yeah.
Well, there is one in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, all right. So Ingrid, let's go ahead. Let's get to the most common questions for the year.
Well, I want to get to.
We're gonna do whatever you want.
Okay, I want to get to some questions from, for instance, Emily in New York. She was on the show. She had built her own coop. Remember?
She was the model.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So she has 3 roosters.
Oh boy.
And they're fine.
Oh boy.
But one of them gets picked on terribly. So she actually was asking what our lead time was for coops, because she's like, maybe I need to buy one of your coops and just have him and some girls in their own place.
That's a lucky guy.
Yeah. So is there any other suggestions that she can do to help? Because she said it's bad, but she can't find another home for him. She's not going to cull
So
him.
she built her own coop, right? If I
Yeah,
remember
she built
correctly?
it. Was kind of like a Craftsman, and it was kind of it was Craftsman inspired.
Do they free range?
Yes.
Oh, there's just such an obvious answer.
What is the obvious answer?
Get rid of the rooster.
Right. So let's say
I
you
mean,
don't.
3 roosters is too many.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, I mean, and especially if it's just going to be better all the way around if you get rid of one of the
So
roosters.
let's say getting rid of the rooster is not an option. We went through that in Santa Fe, New Mexico. It's not an option. Not an option. So we ended up building separate enclosures for the rooster inside. And I'll be honest with you, and I had this talk with the customers. And, you know, what I do love about my business, you know, they teach you the customer is always right. Well, in the world of chicken coops, they're not. But what they pay us is to give them our honest opinion. Right?
Right.
And we're animal lovers, so we're going to give our honest opinion. And I tell you, it was fascinating to have this conversation because when you think about it, here we built this huge run, and we got this sectioned off area to separate the roosters so they're not fighting. And this rooster has a nice area all to himself, his own little rooster cave, his man cave.
Yeah.
But yet he sees all these women walking around in the run for free. I almost felt like that's going to be more torture. Now, let's remember, we're talking about animals, and their drive is to reproduce and protect. So is that maybe, I don't want to say meaner than maybe getting rid of the rooster or whatever, but it's just something to think about. But in this case, I like what Emily's saying is build a separate coop for that rooster with his women so he can be a rooster. So I would say if you cannot get rid of him, that is the right thing to do, especially, and this is going to sound awful, but this is just what happens. I don't want to say terrorize. They're tough on these hens.
Yeah.
You know, there's a rule of thumb. How many hens per rooster would you say?
Oh, minimum 10.
Minimum 10.
Right.
So not so that the mating gets spread around.
Right.
You imagine being, and this is what happens. This is what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yes,
got
the
that
unicorn hen.
You got the unicorn hen that just gets all day long. It doesn't stop. So to me, those things bother me, but that is very real. So this is a tough question.
Yeah. So I suggested the same thing. I suggested, would she want another coop? And I said, I know that they free range, but maybe give a fenced off area to keep him and his flock away from the other ones. But they can still see each other, but they can't be in there. So I just was wondering, I said I would ask the question if you guys had a better suggestion than what. I don't think she wants to cull him, and she did try to find another home for him. So
Yeah, rehoming roosters is very difficult.
there are some people here in North Carolina that have taken people's roosters, but it's not easy everywhere.
You're gonna have more luck rehoming a rooster if he's a special breed, of course, as well.
Yeah.
And friendly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this one's friendly. But okay, so then the other one is George Draper, who's a fan.
Oh, I talked to him yesterday.
We are so due to get out and see him. I feel so bad.
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday on my way to work or on my way home.
Why does Restream? I'm sorry. Why does Restream say we're offline? That's bothering me. Send us a couple more comments. I don't know what's going on today.
That is weird.
Send me a couple more comments. Just quick, please. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, just say hi real quick. 'Cause I just went and checked on our numbers, and they're stabilizing, which usually means something's wrong. But anyways, we'll go on because it says we're live. But that is just strange that it's saying
it's offline. That it's saying that.
So. Okay, no, we just need to refresh.
Okay.
Woo. Okay.
Phew. All right.
Okay, sorry.
Can you put the mouse down now, please? Thank you.
Yeah, I want a mouse.
Yeah, please. This is when you do that, you realize that it makes me realize that I don't need to be here. So,
Ingrid, I know I speak for everyone. You need to be here. It is not the same without you.
We need it. We need you here. Okay.
So,
use my cup.
so George is asking for some.
I'm sorry, that was loud.
Yeah, that was loud.
Sorry.
George is asking for some electric fence recommendations because I don't know anything about them. So.
You know, I have never used the electric fence, but I saw it in action at your farm.
I love
and
it.
I was so impressed by that.
I also saw you get shocked by it in that video.
I have been shocked so many times just through my entire growing up. It is one of the worst feelings in the world, and I have been shocked bad by those electric fences. Bad.
So
Boy,
maybe
do they work.
Maybe one of our listeners has experience with an electric fence.
Well,
that
do you
they
ever
would recommend?
Yeah.
So they're a great tool, and all in all, they're very affordable. This is one of the things I love, and they're very easy to install. My thing that drives me nuts about my electric fencing, the portable fencing that I had, and of course you can run wire. There's so many things you can do to electrify a conductor. They're ugly.
Yeah.
And then I have a thing about fencing.
Why aren't they black?
Probably so the animal does see it, so they don't run into it. I don't think you're going to want that black. I think you're going to want it extremely visible. But I tell you, I used it because I didn't have my pasture up and running yet. And I had turkeys. I had 40 turkeys. And I even used it for the goats. We threw them in there until the pasture was done, and it worked perfectly. Is that why Matt is the way he is?
It's only one of the many reasons.
We should not be shocked. I tell you, it hurts, especially what kills you is when you use both hands and it goes through your heart. And there was one time I thought I did die because it closes your hand. Oh, it was not pretty. But anyways, so it depends on the application. There's so many different things. I just hate the way it looks. Also, I love when things are nice and tight, and it's so hard to get that portable fencing tight. So what is Mr. Draper? What does he want the electric fencing for? Is it this?
I think it's for to keep the birds in an area. He asked me about the poultry netting. So he went to Stromberg's chicken site, and he said, I see they sell electric fences. He's like, he just wanted to know if we had any recommendations. And since I don't use that, I didn't have any recommendations.
Right. He's got some young ones. I believe they're like 12 weeks old now that he's keeping separate from the rest of the flock for integration purposes. So
they will learn to hop it because the tallest I think I recall seeing is 48 inches tall. So if you don't want them to hop it, clip their wings, but then that leads to potential hawk lands down in your area. They can't get away from it.
Right.
You know, there's no perfect situation, but it does work really, really well. But it's not going to be perfect. Recommendation I would be is make sure you order enough of everything you need. Make sure you read that most solar chargers can go miles. It's incredible. And then make sure when you install your solar, if you're going to use a solar charger, which I would, make sure that solar panel's facing south, southwest, and make sure everything's connected. But I've noticed when I got mine, and of course this is during COVID, even 2 years ago, like when it first started, I bought everything that was there and it still wasn't enough. And when I went to piece it together, it drove me nuts. Now it can be done because you're just connecting conductors, but it just drove me nuts. So I would just definitely make sure you get exactly what you think you're going to need for your total fencing.
Okay. So the other question is from Jessica. Now I don't see where you put those pictures, but so Jessica.
Am I allowed to touch the mouse?
Yes, you can touch the
Thank
mouse
you.
now, please.
All right. So yes. And then, so Ingrid officially, we talked about this last week, has her own Mac, and she's going to be able to use eCam. She's going to be able to be so fluent on this, but we can do this, I think, in any, if we go down here to, we're going to change this. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, this is for later. Isn't that beautiful?
Such a beautiful coop.
I think it was right here. And we can automatically, what image
Okay,
would you
so it's the third, that one. So do that one first.
Isn't that great?
Okay, so that's Jessica.
This is Jessica.
And we love Jessica.
We love Jessica.
So she has this Americana.
Who looks pissed.
And then she molted. And then when she molted, show the next picture. Her feathers came in white.
Ooh, that's a great photo.
Isn't it? And then the other one as well. So she was wondering what happened or why did that happen? Or do you ever know of that happening?
I am surprised. I would
Right.
not guess that's the same chicken.
Mm-hmm.
I am really surprised. I would just think that she had some of that breed in her, since these Easter Eggers Americanas are not really pure breeds, that she had some of that mixed in.
Yes.
That's what I thought too.
Some of the
It's like a recessive gene that came out when she
Right.
molted.
the
Wow,
the
what a
speckled.
difference. So what we're talking about is Jessica is a friend of ours who did a lot of marketing for us and has one of our chicken coops. And we see the before picture right now on your screen.
So just for people that are watching the podcast, it's a puppy-cheeked Americana. It's got
mostly golden
black
yeah,
feathers.
I don't see a
Black.
white feather anywhere. And then boom.
Yeah.
And then when she molted, the feathers came in like pure white.
That is incredible.
Well, it's white speckled, like
Yeah.
a speckled.
Yes.
breed.
This is something we should, when we have Dr. Crespo back on, that'd be a great question for her.
Yeah.
But I would guess the same thing because we talked about that again when we talked about our favorite chicken breeds.
Yeah.
One of the things I love,
We
like
should have a breeder on, because I don't know a lot about the breeding of chickens. I've seen some articles and some posts about that, and it gets pretty complicated. The people that are experienced in breeding, it is really a science lesson.
Well, I also looked at, if you think of Americanas as the breed versus an Easter Egger, which is usually a barnyard mix, they can come in that white color. So some of them come like gray, some of them
Right.
come like that. So it could have been that just that the breeding, it was a recessive gene in there somewhere that when she molted, but it looked cool. Okay,
How's the video coming for New Mexico?
it's coming.
Okay, good.
There's so much footage. There's so much footage.
I cannot wait till that video comes out. We need to go do another video very soon because you can't rush art, right?
You cannot.
You can-
I'm very. It's very hard to.
This is why I have you do it. They drive me nuts doing them. We need another video soon. So that's another thing I thought about we need to do. We can go, now we're all together. The gang's all here. We can go to so many local coops and especially heated water systems. They are coming up a lot recently. And I was even talking to Kristen this morning. I'm frustrated. I feel like I'm doing something wrong and trying to explain the system, how it works and how to troubleshoot it. So for example, a gentleman's water system stopped working. And I said, is your water bar level? The way he was explaining, I was like, your pump's not priming. He goes, well, truth be told, we moved our coop. I said, I guarantee your water bar is not level. So it's little things like that. We need a full-on step-by-step of every case scenario.
Yeah, you did a troubleshooting video on YouTube, right? Is that public
It
or no?
It is, but anyways.
I actually have 2 questions on YouTube related to the water system.
Okay, well,
So
you're in charge.
Well, since you mentioned it, so Matt Bridges said, "Do you ever have trouble with the pump randomly shutting off for some reason? It might be related to cold temperatures. It's not frozen though, and it starts back up after some period. Not related to."
It's supposed to cycle on and off, right?
If the thermostatic switch shuts it off.
Well, if it gets below freezing at night, does it run constantly?
Yeah,
Okay,
it turns on or off. Oh yeah, and you want
I
it
didn't
to.
know. I'm never standing out there when it's freezing
So
watching it.
he's saying it's turning off,
Yeah.
and it's still cold outside.
Yeah.
Well, that needs to be verified because I made this mistake. I had my the thermostatic switch on the inside of my run that was wrapped in the most redneck plastic you can even imagine.
Oh, so it wasn't.
It wasn't getting an accurate reading. So that's something I've learned not to do. Because think about it, it doesn't make sense. You want to know what the temperature is on the outside where the water is.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And so we were not really sure exactly, but so if Matt Bridges is watching, just chime in. And Greg Mecca said that his hose from barrel to pump leaks when it's connected to the pump. The threads are sealed, but the hose leaks where the hose connects to its threaded connector as if back pressure is too high. I've tried a few hoses, so it's not a defective hose. This leak happens both when the pump is on and off. Any suggestions on how to resolve this would be greatly appreciated.
So one of the first things I always tell people when they call with some issues about the water system is I always ask them, send me some pictures, videos, FaceTime me, because it's really hard to troubleshoot it without seeing what's going on. So anytime I think of a leak, I immediately think something's not threaded right. Now, when it comes to those hose thread connectors, and we should all be familiar with this, it's just like a garden hose. You got to have that rubber gasket on the inside. But here's the mistake people make. So let's say it is in there. If you over tighten that, you kink it or tear it, it's going to leak. You actually should only be able to hand tighten that. But if you're going to put channel locks on it, physics is amazing. You won't believe how much leverage you can have. And if you over tighten that and you kink it, I'll guarantee you that's what's happened or you're missing it. But he said he tried multiple hoses.
Yes.
So that doesn't make sense unless they're all missing that rubber gasket or he's replacing the rubber gasket. So I would have to say, just send us some pictures. I would love to help him out with that and figure out what's going on. Because that's not common. That's probably the first time I've ever had that question or that problem.
We have some Instagram questions.
We love Instagram. Can we bring up Instagram?
Sure.
Everyone needs to go. If you are not following us on Instagram, please make sure you go follow us on Instagram.
Well, that's not right. You're
Well,
supposed
I know
to bring it up.
Oh,
There you go.
well, that's why you're supposed to do these things.
Yeah.
We love our Instagram.
I actually use Instagram sometimes when I'm communicating with customers just to show an example of what they're purchasing because there are some great pictures on here.
Great pictures. We can't. We're stagnant. We're not breaking. Look at Gus. We're not breaking 12,000 followers, and I want to get obviously way more.
So somebody asked for the best source for getting ducks, and any tips for caring for them.
There is a great duck place in California. What's the name of it?
Where you can order them online, right?
Right. But they specialize in ducks, and they are amazing.
Do they send duck babies through the mail?
Yes.
So, I mean, again, I just to prove it, I mean, Murray McMurray, they have ducklings here, and you can get them day old, right? That's how that would work. I tell you, be careful once you get ducks. God, they're the cutest little things.
Oh, yes.
And then when you find out how good duck eggs are, like I'll take a duck egg over a chicken egg all day. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to get ducks again. They are just so good. But yeah, we got ducklings, so that would tell me other hatcheries. But yeah, if you can figure out what that is, if you got a great recommendation. So yeah, here's our Instagram. So there's some messages over here on Instagram. This is also where we show a little bit more behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. And we have so any tips for caring for ducks? Or ducks and chickens together?
I don't have any tips other than just be aware that they're messy. They are a very messy creature. It's why we did the duck dipper. And let's go ahead and go over here and go to our, so duck coops. And a lot of our customers have ducks.
Yeah, I used to have the best, supposedly it's the best egg layer duck, and the best egg layer duck lays more eggs than the best egg layer chicken.
Say that again. Say that one more time.
If you want eggs, you should have the best egg layer duck because it will lay more eggs than the best egg layer chicken. So if you're looking at purely protein or egg production, the duck does lay more eggs than a chicken. And I'm pretty sure this is it. The Metzer Farms in California.
Farms.
I have gotten their khaki Campbell's is the one that I'm referring to, but I found them to be not quite personable, and that was what other people said as well. So if I was going to do ducks again, I would do their they don't even have it.
Oh, well, let's talk real quick about duck care. I mean, we're already 36 minutes into the show, and we got a lot of questions.
Go ahead.
So, but here is a great video if you would look up and check this out. So, ducks.
The Welsh Harlequin is the second one that I would get.
I love that
because
one.
they are a descendant of the khaki Campbell.
Right, and the Cayuga, just got to represent.
And they're just friendlier.
Yes, New York.
Love the Cayuga. So one of the things that we offer with our duck houses is the duck dipper, and that's what you're seeing right now on your screen. So I'm just going to play this real quick. And the reason why we love this is, and correct me anywhere I'm wrong, is that ducks don't have to swim in water. They just have to be able to get their faces wet every day, yes?
Yes.
And that's what this duck dipper does. Now, notice what we're doing. We have a tub of water inside the duck dipper that the ducks cannot get into, so it keeps it cleaner. But I'll tell you right now, it still gets messy. A lot of times they'll take their food and dunk it in the water, so it gets messy. But then you are going to have to clean this out more often than you think. But I can tell you, if they could get into it every day, you're going to probably have to clean it every day. Not to mention when you have ducks and chickens together, that can also cause some problems.
So we've had a lot of people that say that ducks do need to have a water source in which they can swim. In addition to this,
it is nice, definitely. I mean, they love to swim.
Yeah, but I mean, people, and it was a comment on YouTube that they must have one, that they need it for some reason.
Biologically or medically, they only have to wash off their faces.
Correct.
Yes, but they want
Would
to
they
swim.
love? Absolutely. And I always tell people, if you have the space, it's in your budget, give it to them. You have a pond, give it to them. But
kiddie pool,
there's
whatever.
so many things we do as humans to make this marriage between having animals and man. So we try to give them everything they would have in nature. And one of the solutions we came up with is that duck dipper. And I think it works great. And our customers, actually, that one of our customers has a duck dipper, just came all the way down from Virginia to buy hemp a couple weeks ago. And he's just like, oh, we love it. Just absolutely love it. And even in the wintertime, they throw one of those paddle heaters in there that we sell. That keeps it thawed. He did mention one thing. I thought this was very interesting. He said the chickens prefer to drink water out of that than they do their water bar, which makes sense.
Yeah, easier.
Oh, of course.
I never said this is the easiest thing for them to drink out of, but one of the things about using a water bar, water nipples, is that it's a form of a boredom buster. But anyways.
So we have from Messy Bun Mama on Instagram the top predator proofing recommendations. This is also like a top question that we get about predators.
Is this a 2-hour-long show? Okay.
Make sure your door is secure.
I was hoping it was going to be another chicken question. I zoned out for a second.
Yeah.
What is the top predator?
I mean, you need to just walk around your chicken coop, especially at the lower level, ground level, and look to make sure everything is secure, your doors. I mean, I would do that. The first thing is to look to make sure at the raccoon, possum level, everything is secure all the way around. And then you need to, go to the second phase, which would be the upper level. Make sure all the doors are latched and the windows are latched. And you might use a carabiner to make sure that they can't be opened by raccoons' little fingers. And then there's the predator apron as well. So that's to prevent the digging predators from getting in. And that's secured with staples at the base of the coop, going out horizontally from the coop on top of the ground.
Do we have anything in the FAQ?
We do.
For predators?
We do. Or at least the predator apron.
Yeah. So the question is, what are some tips and tricks to prevent predators, right? On the chicken coop. So obviously, number one, the predator apron is a great tip. where you don't have to dig down.
Right.
What you do not want to do is put screen along the entire bottom of the run. So Ingrid, take me. Okay, so here's just an example of the predator apron.
Right.
There's some old geezer there shooting in some predator apron, but this is a great shot. All right, that's all it is. You attach the fencing material. I like to go with a little bit of a thicker gauge. I still like it PVC coated. We use green because typically we're on grass and it blends right in. And then using stainless steel hardware, your fasteners. That is another thing I think a lot of people they don't realize that you could be putting on fencing. You could be attaching chain link fence. It's nice and strong, but if your fasteners aren't strong, it's going to fail. So
Same with the hardware cloth as well.
Well, it is important to have good hardware cloth. But what I'm saying is that's the easy part. You can get good hardware cloth typically. But people will go out and buy non-hot dip galvanized staples or non-stainless steel staples, shoot that in, especially when you're going along the bottom here into the pressure treated lumber, it's going to corrode it. Well, that's what's holding it on. And like Kristen was just mentioning, and that's a great point, getting down to that level, literally like a fox, a coyote, a raccoon, where they're going to push on those areas, and they love corners. There's something about corners they love. And you just want to make sure you're checking that constantly, but that's where you got to make sure you beef up your fastening ability. So don't cheap out on that. And more is better in this case than not enough. There's another situation where I see where people are shooting on their screen. Not only are they not even using the right type of staple, they're going like every 6-8 inches. If you go every inch, that just adds up, and it's like sewing. One little piece of thread's weak, but when you stitch it up, it's actually very strong. So there's so many tips and tricks when it comes to predators. Just don't underestimate them. And
something obvious is if you don't have a covered run, there is the threat of a hawk or aerial predator.
If you don't have a covered run, you should not even be worried about predation.
Right.
Meaning you're going to have predators.
Right.
Because even a raccoon can easily climb over the side.
We see it.
They sleep in trees.
Right, and they come right down those trees. They rip into it. So if you are seriously worried about predation, you want a solid roof run.
And I say that just because it's obvious, but I just want to.
Well, you'd be surprised.
This is the next question.
Oh boy.
How to determine the best coop location?
Oh boy. Oh, I was just wondering if you were here. Can you do me a favor?
I would love to.
Can you swap this out to maybe your box? Because I brought this in, and it's yours. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. Or whatever it says. So we got to get Ingrid's mug to her. But anyways. My shirt.
Okay. Coop location.
Coop location.
That is one of my favorite topics because it is just as important as the coop that you get, I think. I love doing site surveys, and I will usually just take a look at the whole property first before I make a decision. But there's several things that we like to look at. Visual contact with the coop. Most people want to be able to see their coop. They want to be able to have an easy walk or easy access to get eggs or check on their chickens daily. The visual contact, we usually want to see the ladder. We want to see into the coop, and you want to be able to see the ladder because that gives you the best, the most visual contact with your chickens. If you have the coop the other way around, you see mostly the back of the hen house, and it blocks your visual access to the chickens. Another thing is they typically want shade. They're woodland creatures. They want to have shade. They want to have that protection. And we don't want them to overheat in the chicken coop.
All right, let me pause you for a second. You're on a roll.
Well, that's
good.
There's only like one more thing.
Well, hold on. Visual contact.
Right.
That is such a good way of putting it because we talk about this all the time. Where it's funny when we show up and we ask the customer, "Where do you want your coop?" And usually they already know, but we'll definitely do that whole walk around, talk about those things. But they always want, in my mind, for us to put it in backwards.
Yeah.
And it takes a little bit to explain to them, no, you want to see the front of your hen house. You want to see into your run or you're not going to see your chickens. And what's funny is they always think about, if we look at this picture right here, let's see, where is it? Yeah, right here. that's the back of the hen house. And why would you want to block seeing your chickens? So that, to me, that's like putting the painting on backwards.
Right.
Now, another thing that I've heard you say a lot, and this makes really good sense. This is one of the beauties of chicken coops, and we just did this when we were down in Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
It
Absolutely.
was I forget the term for whatever. We're doing a site survey, and it's amazing how many times we walk the property, and we discover the best area is a part of their property that is underutilized or not even utilized at all, and it's a great way to use that spot.
Yeah, and that goes along usually with a wooded area. So if you have a wooded corner of your yard, you're typically not using that. I mean, that's just wooded, and you can tuck your chicken coop right over there in the corner. But sometimes it's the side yard or like just. I mean, we had my daughter's art teacher, and you remember she had like a kids play area. Like and most people do this as well. You have your yard designated and sectioned off according to how you're going to use it. You might have the fire pit area, and you have your outdoor dining area, and you might have a play set for your children. You have your yard sectioned off almost like your home. Outdoor dining, outdoor living, outdoor, burning. And outdoor playing. So you have different areas of your backyard sometimes arranged like that. And there's usually some area back there that's just not being used.
Right. And it's perfect for a chicken coop.
Right.
Okay, we have.
Can we give Ingrid her mug real quick, please? No need to come over here, but did you grab it?
I did.
Yeah. So what we've done, folks.
Wait, am I giving it to her?
Yeah, just go ahead and give it to her. No, you can give it to her. So we officially have these mugs in, but what we did for our employees is, and again, the font is way wrong. I'm not happy about it, but we put everyone's name on it.
Did you tell them why?
You're such a.
Did she just call me a dick?
No, I said you're such a. And I didn't.
I heard. That's how I get treated around here. Go ahead and read it.
Is that what her mug says?
No. I said, it says, can you send it in an email?
I drink out of that cup.
Yeah.
God forbid these people use email.
Oh my God.
Especially Matt. Thank you. I love it.
You're
I love
welcome.
it.
Thank you.
It's perfect.
Good. Awesome. All right.
Did
Cool.
you, by any chance, did you just mention why the font is the way that it is?
We don't need to we were running out of time. It's okay. It was just, it's not important. All right.
It kind of is.
Okay.
Why?
Go ahead. Why is it important?
Because it's from a small business just starting up. The kids were trying to take on work, and this is what you get when you put children in charge of projects just starting up.
Right.
And it's family.
Which is fine.
And
They did
it's okay.
They did a great job. We just got. I'm not happy that the font is real small, but we'll fix it.
It's subtle. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
And that's appropriate sometimes. So. Okay, you wanted the message to be not so subtle. I got it.
There's nothing really subtle.
But you can
about
pretend.
Did we get our Happy New Year paraphernalia?
No, there's nothing to be had.
Nothing to
I've
be
gone
had.
to 5 stores,
Okay.
including Wegmans.
All right, moving on.
So, and also part of where we put the coop is the site preparation, which we have a big page here where people want to put a base in. You don't have to, but you can.
Can you show them how to get there?
It's under the FAQ page.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there. Yeah, and I did leave that out. You want a place that's fairly level for your chicken.
We need to talk about level. I mean, there's so much
leveling it
more
out.
to that. I mean, we could do a whole show just on site prep, but it is so important. What I tell people is think about, you just got your favorite, most expensive painting, and where do you want to hang it in your house? There's a lot to think about. That's how it is with the chicken coops, in my opinion.
Can we do a whole show on site prep?
I don't have Nan's mic on. I didn't know you were going to be back. We should turn Nan's mic on.
Nan said she wants to do a whole show on site prep.
Yeah, we should do one on site
Yeah, and we
prep.
should use some examples.
Because
we have before and after
there's
pictures, right?
so much on site prep. But that is a hot topic. We should do a show just on site prep.
Okay. No, the other we did have some of these questions already answered, and this one of the questions from I have to get back to eCam.
Sorry.
You don't mind, do you? Chicken Coop for the Soul said that she has one hen that's pecking feathers out of other hens, and she's not just picking on one, she's picking on a bunch of them.
And that's what bullies do.
Right. Is there any suggestions?
Now, your dad had this problem, right?
Yeah.
Chicken counseling.
Chicken counseling.
Yes.
know if you guys just heard Nan. They can hear her through Ingrid's mic, but chicken counseling. That's funny. That'd be like the dog whisperer.
And what we decided with your dad was to isolate the bully and not the victim.
Right, which I agree. I think that's an absolute great idea to do exactly that.
And I don't know if did he get back to us on if that worked?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. He's leaving today or tomorrow, and I'm not happy about it, so I don't want to think about
I
it.
got pot roast. He might not leave until Monday.
Food is his thing. You know, you can tell a lot about people when you look at what their pictures are on their phone, you know, for the wallpaper. He's got pizza and fish fry.
So I don't know what else to do for the and usually it's space. I don't have that problem because I free range. I actually have not had that problem at all. That's why I'm thinking maybe it's a space issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it is. I think everything has to do with space.
I have a question.
Uh-oh.
What do you think?
No, it's okay. They can hear. They can hear. Don't.
Okay. All right, relax.
It's popping. Don't tell me to relax.
So,
okay? It's popping. Move it back just a bit.
It's still popping.
Yeah. Okay, now leave it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, Ingrid. Go ahead, Nan. What's your question?
Okay. So what do you think the difference is between a long, narrow, open space or a wider, larger open space? Like not even larger, but like square footage. But like I feel as if you can feel space stress in a more narrow space than you would like a square space.
Is this a question or a statement?
I had a customer ask.
They're asking what's better. Is it long and rectangular or square, equal on all four sides?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters.
A customer said, I have, similar to your dad's situation, a long, narrow, already fenced dog run on the side of his yard and looking to put a California coop in there, or he doesn't like the looks of it. He's more of a square type person. I can feel that. And he asked which would be better.
Doesn't matter. It's all about square footage when it comes to the run. Not the hen house, the run. Right?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's really, really narrow, I guess.
Outside of the run.
It doesn't matter.
No,
it's square footage.
I wouldn't think it would.
Next.
Yeah, never had that question before.
I get them all.
Okay, so here's a question we get a lot. How do I keep rats and mice out of my coop?
Oh, where's the
I thought this was
sound
a
effects?
good Oh, she was on fire on that. I thought this was going to be an easy show. These are, you know what these are? Sorry.
That makes noise.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah,
great.
it makes like a popping noise.
These
Matt,
are,
not
I will pop you, Ingrid.
Simmer down, Matt.
Oh, is
Can I
that?
get the picture of margaritas?
Maybe.
They're going to think we're alcoholics. I think we were drinking in the last week's show.
That was just a fireball
Oh,
shot.
speaking of last week's show was Christmas Eve. Today is New Year's Eve. Ingrid said she was not going to be here, but look, she's here. I forgot to mention. Yay! Thank
See
you.
what I
Ingrid.
do for you, Matt.
Oh, yes. Okay. Repeat the question, but there's no way. These are things that we have to dedicate a show to, but I'm going to do the best.
Yeah, mice
How do
and
we
rats.
keep Matt? How do we keep Matt out of our coop? I know. Just ask for a new roof. No. Ba-dum-bum. How do I keep rats and mice out of my coop?
Prevention. Don't give them a reason to go in there.
There you go. Can you expand?
I don't dare. I don't. We're almost.
All right.
Make it so they don't want to be in there. Why they want to be in there is harborage and food.
But you always have feed in your chicken coop,
You
right?
do. So we talked about that. We're grandfather's feeder, this and that. But it's all about prevention. So you got to step back and understand, like with rats have a huge territory, and you got to figure out where they're coming from, and they could be coming right from underneath your coop. We've seen that many times. Is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of, if you're going to have a solid structure for your hen house going all the way to the ground, you're going to want to make sure you prevent them from digging underneath. So that's a huge mistake. What happens is when you put a lot of these sheds down on skids, you have just enough cavity underneath there, you close it off. It just makes for the perfect home for rats. And then, of course, if they can travel real quick to a water supply, which rats have to have every day, mice don't, but they can drink from it. You're just giving them everything they need. It's all about prevention. That's true with any pest. But I know a lot of people are like, well, what kind of material should I use? Rats can chew through copper. Rats can fit, if you can take a Sharpie, your regular Sharpie, 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch, they can actually, if their skull can fit through that opening, the rest of their body can, and it's a 1/4 inch. If you can take a pencil and fit into an opening, a mouse can fit through that. So you look at our 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch hardware cloth, the stuff is phenomenal, but it's not going to keep rats out. That's where some people freak out, but it's like,
You're farming.
Well, yeah, that is true. You're farming, and it's all about prevention. And I do want to do a show on that, because I can tell you what happens is, and I did it as an exterminator. You got to step back, look at the big picture, and say, where in the world are they coming from, or how are they getting there, and tackle it there, not in your chicken coop. Sometimes people try to put Band-Aids on things, and this is not going to solve it.
And I just want to mention for any newbies out there that think they're going to have rats and mice because they have chickens, that's not the case. I've never seen it in all the years that I have chickens.
Right. So many people, when we just did that site survey a couple weeks ago, was it 3 weeks ago, whatever, the first thing this gentleman said, such a ludicrous comment coming from someone that he associates himself with. Yes. No.
That was subtle.
Not bad. No, it was, he was told how bad they smell. You know, it's just funny, these things that people say that is not true. And that's another reason why I want to do this show. I want people that are thinking about getting into chickens. I feel like we speak the truth. We come from experience, and we keep it simple. And I'm telling you, if your coop smells, there's something wrong. They don't smell. And a lot of these people, same exact situation, when they think about the smell, it's because they remember as a child when factory farming really started to come out, and they had to go out there and collect the eggs. They're going into these chicken houses where there's thousands of chickens that never see daylight. They never see soil. They're on concrete in these little cages. It's going to stink. No, that's not the case with a proper setup.
That's
with a backyard chicken coop.
So it's getting late, so I think maybe we should do YouTube Chicken Police.
It's been a while. I'm not going to lie. My heart goes up when I hear that. I apologize if you're listening to us in the car. You are not being pulled over. It is time for YouTube Chicken Police, one of my favorite subjects. It's been a while, Ingrid.
It has, but now I can't find the... Oh, here we go. There we go. Okay.
Oh, why are we bringing this one up?
So this is a beautiful craftsman that was done in Dryden, Michigan, and it's got a lot of views and it gets a lot of comments.
Thank you, everyone.
I love that picture.
It's beautiful.
Thank you, Bethany, our horticulturalist, companion planting, bullseye gardening, companion planting, she called us.
Okay. So... So, yes, and they did, these customers went above and beyond to try to make a beautiful place for their chickens.
Boy, did they.
A chicken yard.
Yeah.
This is somewhere we need to follow up.
Yeah.
This summer.
So, Acer Tiger said, sorry for any bird that has to live in that, referring to this coop, and gave reasons for number 1, no rain to play in. Number 2, no worms. Number 3, no fresh live greens growing. Number 4, no sky, so no sunshine above. Number 5, easy predators go through the screen. And then 6 were just comments like, good luck, city boy. And 7, guaranteed never had birds beforehand.
Ooh, good luck, city boy.
Yes.
So,
and then of course, this is one of the comments that I wish I didn't read, because if I was just hearing this now, I'd be flipping out. So it's not as entertaining. I promised Ingrid I would stop reading comments after 5 o'clock, but I got to start not reading them after 2. I read that, and I actually thought he was referring to me as a city boy, which I am not. I actually can't stand the city, but you're thinking that he's referring to
it could be either way.
Either way. So here's the coop he's talking about. All right, so first comment. What was it again?
No rain.
No rain.
To play in.
All right, listen. There is a reason why we build all our coops the way we do. And here's the coop he's talking about. You have a solid shed hen house. Okay, that's where they sleep at night. It's where they're going to lay their eggs. And we have a run that is solid roofed. You want that. That is the canopy of the forest. Okay, we would rather have a dry problem in our run than a wet problem.
That's right.
All right, but if you can see, oh, my hand's getting cut off. Well, just follow my. See if I can get it. There's the chicken door. They free range, and I don't care how big your coop is, how beautiful. It doesn't matter. Free ranging makes all the difference in the world. So that answer alone, I love when I read Ingrid's comment. After each time she answered the bullet point, oh, plus they free range. Then she answers it again, plus they free range. That is just how important free range is. So it pisses me off that someone even make this comment, because I know other people are going to read them. And I mean, I love the negative people because they push me to the edge. But when people read these, I worry. They're like, oh, you must not know what he's doing with chicken coops. I'm like, God, it's just simple. And there's reason why we do what we do. But nothing's more important than free ranging. And there was something about not being able to get to the rain.
Right. And
Yeah.
chickens, in my experience, aren't big fans of like
They're
rain.
not.
Right.
They're
They'll
not.
tolerate some light rain, but I would say tolerate. It does not look like they're enjoying it. And they
No.
do take cover when it gets to be a heavy rain.
Exactly. So there's their run. They go running into their run. There's something about greens.
Yeah. Well, second was no worms.
No worms.
I
mean,
don't understand where that's coming from.
This just shows me the person's lack of just
Maybe
whatever.
he just looked at a photo and didn't actually watch the video.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe he thinks they're just living in that shed portion.
No,
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
seem like it. But
Yeah,
yeah, no fresh live greens growing.
Yeah, and those are obviously
So
there.
yes, you can have bugs inside your run. I mean, if you really wanted to kick it up, you don't have to. Again, this is why free ranging's so nice. But you can mist it in there and have all those benefits if they didn't free range. But you don't have to. But that's again why if you can let them free range, they're gonna just do what chickens do. It's done.
Yeah, and they are going to eat all the bugs out of the run. That's
Absolutely.
why it's nice to have them free range, even just a little bit to run around and find some bugs.
And what did make me mad, now too, in his defense, if you will, at that point of the video, we did the video when we just finished the coop. Then Bethany came in and did the companion planting and the bullseye gardening afterwards. And here's just a beautiful shot of her gardening where they planted specific plants to benefit the chickens.
But as opposed to like the no fresh live greens growing, I mean, listen, in the winter, a lot of people don't have fresh live greens growing for their chickens. You just bring that to them.
Another great reason why to have a solid roof run.
Yeah.
Put on your storm shields. Give them the outdoor. I mean, God,
Okay.
if you're watching this, call us. Why? Karen never called either.
No.
That pisses me off. Make the comments. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but please come on to the show and talk to us about it.
And they said something about the no sky or sunshine above. Again, they're free ranging, and sun does go through depending on the time of year and time of day.
Yes,
Goes
it
through
does.
there.
Absolutely. They love it. They love
The sun actually moves across the sky.
Yeah.
just like it
Does
does
it?
in the woods.
Yeah, it does.
Oh,
It does.
Interesting.
Yeah. So you would get that as it moves.
There's
Maybe
a
the
lot
sun
of-
doesn't move where
Real
he
quick,
lives.
before I forget, I see there's a lot of comments. I do want to get to them. I love that everyone's taking the time to listen and watch, and I know we haven't gotten to them, but I do want to do a rundown. So I
Yeah.
appreciate if you have questions, comments, we will get to them.
Yes.
Keep them coming in.
So that, and then the good luck city boy, or that we don't know that this person's ever watched any of our videos
Obviously
before.
Good luck, city boy.
Because they might, as Matt pointed out, you thought that maybe they thought that you built this coop and this was your personal coop and didn't realize that you were.
Jeez, I wish it was.
I know, right? Don't we all?
I've never seen a city boy with such a beard.
That's right.
So another one on this coop was Lolita Bonita said, the concept is good, but come on, stairs for the chicks to go onto the other side is a very stupid design.
Excuse me?
I know.
What's she talking about?
I don't know. I think the stairs. to go-
Listen, Lita Polita, call
Lita
us.
Bonita.
Or whatever. You got to explain things. What
Lita
the
Bonita.
hell is that talking about?
Well, I think they were talking about the stairs up to the hen house.
Oh, my God. They're great.
What is it with these people?
You know, I do want to do, even though it probably would get dirty. Someone mentioned this is wrapping the rungs or the steps with rope. That would be pretty cool. Everyone, yes, they work. They work great. Chickens are amazing at getting into places. We make it
They
so
have
easy
wings too. That
for them. Yes.
Well, they do
Except for
need-
silkies.
I mean, some of them do
Even
need the
the
stairs.
silkies.
My chickens use the stairs. I mean, not all of them fly up.
yeah, but they're
used to it.
can fly up
can-
a few steps though. I mean,
Yes,
they
and that's
use
what
their
they'll
wings a
do.
little
That's
bit.
what they'll do. We need to make it so if people leave these comments that they have to come on the show.
Well,
I told
I
you.
asked them to elaborate because I didn't really understand.
Good. Yeah, and they won't.
No. Nope. Anyway, should we get to
Yes.
those?
Yeah, Ingrid, why don't you
Questions?
read out any questions or comments?
Should I get the
that-
comments?
Well,
up
was
here?
that all the questions, comments for the year?
That was no. Those were the two latest, and then the other ones were about that we already tackled. That were about the water bars and stuff. the
Yeah,
water
we need to
things.
do shows about, especially rodents, and with a video too. It would be great to do a intro video of the topic. We got lots to do, Ingrid.
I know.
All right, now don't skip a lot. You love to skip right through them.
Well, that's
Go right to the top. That's what hey.
She can skip around if she needs
All
to.
right,
She
fine.
can do what she wants, but
So all
okay.
this is about not being able to hear us. So
Yes,
I'm gonna
I know.
go through those. Okay.
So it's almost like a
right.
recap. It's almost like a recap, especially if you're still watching, listening. Thank you so much for letting us know we're having some audio difficulties. We need an audio engineer.
Watching from New Hampshire, Eric Schaefer starting to look at sprouting grains for our small flock of 6 hens. Any thoughts or suggestions?
Oh, Ingrid.
Yeah, that's an Ingrid.
Listen, I don't have grass for my chickens because when I did have grass by them, they destroyed it, obviously. So I grow trays of wheatgrass and microgreens, any kind of sprouts, especially in the winter for the chickens. So I think it's a great idea.
I grow ryegrass for my chickens.
Mm-hmm.
So we used to do sprouting boxes. They are so time consuming. I didn't want to pursue it. We could probably now do it even cheaper. I'll have to look into that. But it's an easy DIY project where you make a sprouting box, but you put a piece of hardware cloth over top of it so they can't really till up the soil, but the sprouts come through, they eat it, and then you swap it out with another box and it allows it to regenerate.
Yeah, I just throw those on my lawn. Just a frame, and then I'll put rye or clover in it.
Oh, that's a good idea. Just put it right on the lawn.
Yeah,
Forget
that's
the
what I
whole.
do.
So I think, Annette, when we were making them, they're for people that don't free range. They insist they can't free range. But no, that's a good idea.
Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to just keep scrolling.
Keep
'cause
on
he's-
scrolling. So I love that we're able to reach around the world. Maybe I
Someone
picked
said I picked a bad time to eat my lunch.
I know. Bad
That was
time.
probably when I brought the poop out.
Right.
Yes.
It's a great show and tell.
Right. I'll just save this for the next HOA meeting.
So Anthony Dibna said hello from Fallon, Nevada. Got our coop and it's still in the back of my truck because I can't build it in the snow.
I apologize. I know that was one. I think it was behind. It was at. Can you stop? Hold on. Slow down. Thank you. We're gonna get through this, Ingrid. I promise. Send it in an email. Yeah. So I'm glad he got his coop. I apologize. Your assembly in the snow. I think that was one where they thought I was out pondering to the custom coop.
Pandering.
Is there a big difference?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Boy, have I learned a lot this week. We had to look up the definition of email etiquette. That was a fascinating 2-hour conversation. Anyways, yeah, so I apologize, but thank you. If you need any help, let us know as far as technical support and things like that.
Okay. I'm scrolling again.
They've had some crazy weather out west.
And we've had some crazy warm weather.
So that's a great point. Lisa Poré, I'm going to assume that's how you say it. She used extra posts from her Tractor Supply between the regular posts. That's exactly what I did.
Your electric fence?
Yeah, you probably have never seen them down here, but up north, because of how much snow we get, you have these fiberglass posts. They have a little reflector tape up top, and they're usually orange. You stick them along your driveway, so when you plow it, you know where your driveway is. I use those to kind of beef up the netting, and it worked out beautifully. So that's just another great tip for, I forget, I think it was, someone was asking about it.
Anthony also said if you give an estimate for shipping when you purchase a coop, if the estimate is higher than the cost, do you refund the difference?
Ooh, none. I might have to plug your mic in.
It's just an estimate.
So you get charged for actual.
You get charged for actual on your final invoice.
Yeah, it's just that simple. We
don't make any money on shipping.
Right.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Like gas, it's like everything else, especially now. And what we do to keep the shipping costs down for our customers is insane. But that's why I want to do. That's because I want to sell the coops. I don't like how much it costs, but when you really think about it, to ship, a 2,000-pound coop from one side of the country to the other, and it's usually, I don't want to say a number, but I am always in the back of my mind going, man, how do these shipping companies make any money? But that's why it's an estimate. It's just to give you an idea. And I always tell people it's going to fluctuate. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down, sometimes it's the same. But right now, nothing's staying the same. Everything is so volatile, from lumber prices to metal prices, fuel, everything. It's just crazy. But I can tell you, we spend a lot of time negotiating with our brokers, with everyone. So I apologize. So the answer is no, right? That is the official answer.
Right, because
That's
it's an
just
estimate.
It's just an estimate. I'm sorry.
So I want to give you a good comment. Jeremy Moore said, I got to go see the Santa Fe coop. It was gorgeous. People in that area are still talking about it.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
That is really cool.
Do you see it down at the bottom there, Matt?
He got to go see the Santa Fe
That
coop.
is awesome that they're sharing their coop with the community.
Whoa. Man, I tell you, my day is an emotional roller coaster. I just
I
went.
have goosebumps.
Woo!
Look at that.
Yes, you do.
Yes, and it is
What?
cold in here, but
So I don't know who Jeremy Morse is. So I'm
that is
assuming
cool.
we're talking about the one that we just did in Santa Fe.
Yeah.
So we've done a couple.
Maybe he's friends with them, but
You know, that is awesome. People are still talking. I believe it. I tell you, when the video's done and the drone shots we got from out in the mountains coming in, I mean, it's just incredible. We were driving those back roads and you see this top of the cupola at that point sticking out. It's just you can't help but wonder what in the world is that structure. It is so beautiful. So Jeremy, thank you for mentioning that. I that makes me so happy. So happy.
And Chicken Coop for the Soul said she just heard that chickens and ducks do not get along together.
Who said that?
Chicken Coop for the Soul. Well, she heard that from somebody.
it's probably it goes down to space, I'm sure.
It's all about the space. I mean, that's what this show should be called. Size does matter. Yeah. .com. It does. They get along fine.
I never had any problem.
Gosh, you got it. Chickens, if they don't have enough space, don't get along together. You know.
Humans, if they don't have enough space.
Exactly. That's a good point. If you didn't, internet is so bipolar. It's always either yes or no. Very little shades of gray. Yeah, right.
All right. So Kelly Hines says, I have an 18-foot run attached to my hen house and only 8 feet of roof. The run is muddy mess when it's raining. What's the best to put down to keep the run dry for the hens?
Don't put down, put up a solid roof. By the time you add up how many times you're going to keep putting in some type of substrate into your run, you're better off. God, metals, it's so well worth it in my opinion.
You could use the plastic wavy stuff.
Corrugated, polycarbonate.
As long as it's not clear.
Well, even there are a lot of people that use clear to bring that sunshine in, but it's gonna get hot. But as long as they can escape it, however, but to this point, go ahead, Kristen, because I know you got an answer for that. Well, if you can't, what are you gonna put down inside the run? What are some great ideas to help?
Well, pine shavings.
Hold on.
What? And then there's the pine pellets someone recommended, which makes sense.
It does, but it's very acidic.
Yeah, but it's just in the run.
I still find it, and I think you talked about this on a show where you'll drive around a neighborhood and you just had some potential suitor drop off a bunch of bags of leaves, which actually do a very good job. Wood chips. And here's the thing that I always found fascinating is if you do the mulch or the leaves or whatever, just dump them. Don't spread it.
Mm-hmm. I just did it this week.
And how long did it? I mean, the chickens are like the world's best landscapers.
Yeah, but no, within a couple hours, it was all spread out.
Spread out flat. It's amazing. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Okay. I just like to, because my memory sucks. And if I don't see the comment in front of me, I will forget what we are talking about. So that's all. I appreciate it. Moving on now.
Okay. I'm just going to go look for something that's a question.
Well, hold on.
Mike Trapp said that with the hen that was a bully, that they did that same thing. They put their bully hen in a coop in jail and let her out, and she's no longer the bully because once you remove them, they lose their status, right?
I would think so. That pecking order has to get reset.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to make hen house jail. But no, that's what my dad said when he mentioned that he was talking to you about it. He goes, yeah, I guess it's a reset. I'm like, I never thought about that. But sometimes we all need a little bit of a reset.
Your instinct might be to take the one that's injured or the one that's getting picked on, but that's just going to even make it worse.
Right. Yeah. So that's I'm so glad to hear that. So that's great advice. What was that one up top? You skipped one.
That was the one I read about the pecking.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
You have to trust me a little bit.
Oh, I trust you. What's that subtitle for a Du Bois?
These are just comments. Jerry, your dad said his outside run is 25 by 175. So his is, I guess, long and narrow. But 25 feet is still wide.
Yeah, that's a lot for a chicken.
That's the size of 2 people's backyards in California.
Yeah.
Hold on. Here's all caps. Did you talk about getting more from the feed? Like what to soak in water?
Like the fermenting.
Yes.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, we're not soaking the feed. The pellets, we're not soaking pellets because that just gets nasty.
Yes.
And could get moldy.
It has to be seeds.
Seed.
And sometimes, like when I'm cleaning out my pantry, I'll have lots of lentils that are kind of old. I'll just soak them overnight in water and sprout them and throw them out to the chickens. They love it.
Yep.
New Year office fireworks. Yes, we're gonna get you guys figured. Like I noticed your mic, your XLR cable needs to be switched around because it's rubbing against you. It's driving me nuts.
I'm not gonna touch it.
So Rudy says that he has both types of runs. He has a long, narrow, and a square, and he says chickens in the square area seem to be much happier.
I saw that. That is interesting.
Oh, maybe if it's really narrow, they have to pass by each other.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And that's like the long hallway at high school where the bully goes by and you can't really avoid him because you're going to run into the lockers.
Because I have a square. I have 25-foot square.
So are we going to go on record and say if you have a choice, square is better?
Well, I mean, if it's
square
as big as your dad.
or beware.
If it's like your dad's size, I don't think it matters. But if it is narrow, like say 10 feet, 12 feet, maybe that is too narrow for a large flock to kind of.
The customer that I was talking to had a 6-foot wide area that went the length, like half the length of his yard. So it was really narrow.
Yeah, that's narrow.
Yeah. I mean, so imagine now, what does this mean for chicken channels?
Yes, exactly.
You know?
That's what I was just thinking.
That's interesting.
Well, I think it depends because if you have chickens that are lower on the pecking order, every time they're trying to get food or something, and they're that close to another chicken, then they're going to get. There's going to be more fighting.
Yeah.
This is so obvious. That makes so much sense.
But if they were raised together, there's not going to be an issue.
I think tight spaces are annoying anyways, regardless of who or what you are.
I tend
hold
to
on,
agree with
Mama Sunshine. Thank you, Carolina Coops, for all your direction and information. We are new to chickens this year, and your input has been instrumental in our success to this point. God bless. You are welcome, Mama Sunshine. That's what we need to hear. I love that. I don't want to skip over that, and I love the name Mama Sunshine.
Mm-hmm. And we're glad to. I mean, so many people get inspiration from
Well,
us. They tell us on Instagram and.
So I want, I hate the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I mean, we have a whole little section for the people that are jerks with YouTube Chick Police, but I want to promote the people that are the reason why we do this. And even today, we had a gentleman up from South Carolina, came walking in, saw me sitting at my desk, and was just like getting off from watching our videos, this and that. And it makes me happy.
He was like, I can't believe you're in person.
Yeah, right. Coming to get hemp, and he said, "Thank you so much."
In the audience.
Huh?
He thought this was actually like a live show, like Ellen.
Oh yeah.
He asked if he could sit in the audience.
I do want
need a studio audience.
We do want to have a studio audience. I do want to do that. A time will come. But I just thought that was awesome. But he built his coop based on ours, and he's buying hemp. Again, there is a method to my madness. I want people getting into this hobby. And if you're not going to buy my coop, buy from us. But also, we will have all kinds of other fun stuff, including the merch. What is going on with the merch? The mugs. We are going to have mugs for sale.
I have to try to convince you to set up a merch shop in the Blue Room.
You don't? Oh, that convincing. No. Okay, that's another story.
Should I go get the pictures of margaritas now?
No.
Maybe. Chicken coop for the soul again. And she had also commented on YouTube about that these coops are insane. The Cadillac of chicken coops, absolutely gorgeous. So she's a big fan. I'm assuming it's a she. I shouldn't assume.
I know. I do the same thing.
You get a vibe by the handle.
Yes, or the picture. So I apologize. It's
But Chicken Coop for the Soul says, my chickens would devour anything green before it has even a chance to grow, which is true. It's hard to throw, like you said, lentils out there. I'd have to start it somewhere else because they just scratch up everything.
Right,
it
exactly.
just goes to show
I just started them in the kitchen until they sprout, then throw them out.
Yeah.
But if you have some wire on the ground, they don't.
I plant things in my garden, like between the predator apron, so they don't take it out.
Yeah, and sometimes, when I put down my rye seed, I do have to keep them in a separate area until it sprouts. Or, they've eaten a ton of seed. It does make me mad, especially the ones that fly over the fence.
Did you have something that a comment you want to address,
No,
Matt?
I'm just observing.
Okay.
Thank you. Don't be scared.
A couple of people said they have stairs in their coop. So regular guy Airsoft says, you ever going to build a bantam specific coop?
We have. We did.
We have that. You have a video
in Raleigh, right off Lake Wheeler Road.
Oh my God, I don't recall.
There's a video.
Yeah, we did a.
That needs to be our slogan. We have a video for that, by the way. We can't forget.
We did a. She had regular chickens, standard size, and she had bantams, and she had a bantam coop. She had horses, And the way that we made it so only the bantams could get in there, I think, was we had an elevated hen house door that only the bantams could fly up to and get into.
Yes, that, and we could do that with all coops when you really think about it.
That's what we do when people have goats and chickens at the same time.
Exactly. That has been my recent passion, is figuring out how all the animals
that works really well.
Can live together and not cause problems with, the goats are eating the chicken feed, Matt. They're all gonna. Anyways, yeah. So I got to answer the question: are you ever going to make? We have, and is that an option to possibly start a separate part of the page or a different section on our website for bantam specific coops like we would? Come on, that is
we don't have enough to use as an example.
Because bantams can use a regular coop. They don't need a special coop.
Do you know how and why? There's many reasons why I think we have been so fortunate and blessed in business. Okay, I love the silence.
I think that
silence for a second, please. Thank you. Because I'm going to forget what I'm going to say. You learn so much from listening to the customer's questions. And, we don't have enough. No, you have to figure out today what people are going to want to buy tomorrow. Maybe people don't realize a bantam coop isn't a possibility. Well, hell yeah, it is. And why couldn't we start a bantam coop line like we did the American in Carolina, even though we can customize anything for bantams, but people would love it, just like we said we would do for silkies, because they're such a pain in the butt to have.
Can I add that our customer in Texas loves her duck coop for her silkies?
Please elaborate.
She wanted a silky coop, and I asked her what her current setup was, and I had suggested a Carolina style duck coop, and she loves it.
Yeah.
And the silkies love it also.
Yeah, so that makes good sense. So I am sorry, I didn't mean to get angry, but from a business point of view, you learn so much from these questions, and I think why not?
Well, I would think a quail coop would be better that is more specific, because bantams can mix with regular sized breeds.
God, I tell you, but
quail
as my marketing expert, it's all about marketing. And if we had a coop that with a specific area just for bantams, people, they don't really want to do a lot of research anymore. They want us to do it for them, and we hopefully have earned their trust that if we say, hey, this is a good bantam coop, click, buy, done. Okay? So I think that's what we should do. Same thing for quails. Yes, I agree. Love quail. Okay? And there's going to be a huge future for that, if not already. And a lot of people aren't even really probably familiar with quail and realize how easy they can be to raise them. And also my favorite fun fact about quails, that if you have an egg allergy, we need to prove this, but I've been told you can eat quail eggs.
Who are you going to get with an egg allergy in here dry eggs?
I don't know, but let's do it. Let's do it. Someone, if you are out there listening and you have an egg allergy.
Bring your EpiPen.
Yeah, one won't be provided.
That would make for a great show.
We'll compensate for the EpiPen.
Okay. Do you see any other?
Yeah, absolutely I do. Any more thoughts on lowering costs by going metal versus wood? Any more thoughts on lowering costs?
I think that was for the frame he had talked about.
Yeah, I tell you, metal, at one point, wood got more expensive than metal, but that's not going to stay that way. I have always... Where are you going? Oh, see, that's what happens. Ingrid's got to excuse herself for a second. That's where she gets a little feisty, I've noticed.
Wait, is she leaving in a huff?
She's leaving in a huff? Where's your phone? You didn't slam your phone?
Is she going to slam the door? Wow.
Ingrid, everyone.
You can send her an email. Maybe she took her phone.
I don't know where
inner office drama.
Oh my gosh, yeah, the inner office drama.
Ingrid and I both prefer emails.
I tell you, I never felt more ganged up in my life, but that's a whole nother story. So, anyways, we haven't put any more thoughts into that. What we are doing very aggressively to get the costs down is the full-on kit. We're starting with the American Coop. We are so very close, but so far away still.
What if we just make bantam accessories? Like the roost bar, and so you could swap it out in the American Coop.
I mean, it's like building special furniture or special housing for short people. I mean, you don't do it because short people can use the same house as tall people. I mean, we don't, like, my kitchen is not customized because I'm short, or my door frames are not customized because I'm short.
I have been told there's a lot of things that we do that you're not supposed to do, and I tell you what, people love it. But you also got to market it, and that's what it is. So if there was a spot on our website for SEO and for people to go to, and they love their bantams, and I think that's a great idea.
A lot
Bantam
of people
accessories.
have a mix of.
That is true too.
Right.
But
so very few people have only bantams.
But I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people. That's all they want are bantams. And yes, you got to literally cut everything in half when it comes to their specifications. And we have done bantam roost bars, but maybe on our website we put on there. Why not have rope wrap bantam bars?
Well, how are you going to make sure that only the bantams are using the?
Because they may only have bantams in that situation. I think it's a great thing to look into. Why not? We talked about doing it for silkies. We do it for
separate.
Right. I mean, there's okay. Something to definitely think about. All I'm saying is, as a team, we all work together. It's all about growing the business and supplying the customer what they want. That all starts with someone asking a question. Happy frickin' New Year, folks.
Hey, I have a New Year's fun fact.
Oh, and we have chickens in the news.
Yes, we do.
Did you do your homework? Do you have it ready to bring it up? We've never done chickens in the news, and
remember what it was.
It's been a long time. In the very beginning of this show, we were going to do chickens in the news, and I even made you a special soundbite.
I don't see it.
I don't see it. Where is it? Hold on. May I?
Okay.
Sorry.
So here's my fun fact, my New Year's fun fact. Do you know why Times Square is called Times Square?
I cannot believe you just said that. I literally woke up this morning. This is so freaking weird. Wondering that. I don't know why. And I think it was because Miley Cyrus is doing a show down in Miami. I was like, why not do it in Times Square? And I actually wondered, why is it called Times Square? No, go ahead.
Do you know, Kristen? Anyone?
No, I don't. I don't know.
It's called that because the New York Times building was there. It's not any longer, but it was there. And they decided to rename it, I think it was Long Acre Street, to Times Square in honor of the New York Times, which isn't there anymore. And that's always how we've known it. And it never really occurred to me why it was named that, but that's why. So that's your fun fact.
Yeah, that is a great fun fact. So we got to get the, I have it. Oh, no, you brought up the official. We could share that, but we don't need to get there. This is fascinating. So we got to get the chickens in the news. I can't believe we don't have that up. I just assumed we did. It was a great soundbite that will probably have copyright people against us.
Yeah, the news is starting January 1st in Texas, chicken coops cannot be taxed as part of your property taxes.
Love it.
Are they taxed as part of your property tax?
There are people that consider it. Yours might have even got taxed. So here's what I've seen happen. From having to pay a tax, and taxes can be called different things, but at the end of the day, it's a tax. When people are like, oh, that's an accessory structure, you got to go get a permit, okay? It's the government taking money from you, okay? And that's a whole nother story, which I'm not a huge fan of, but whatever. But it's a double-edged sword. I love that chicken coops can appear to be a increased value for that property and that the assessor is going to tax them on it. But also that can decrease, and here's what taxes do. They decrease people wanting to do something. So love Texas, and there's another reason why.
Mm-hmm. But if it's not included as property for property tax, can it be added to your homeowner's insurance?
I'm sure it can. Yeah, that's different.
Is this the only one? Is this the only one?
Yes, that's the only one.
Well, I was hoping that we were going to have a...
There's nothing more to be had.
Nothing more to be had for Happy New Year. It's probably a good thing. Thank you, Jetta.
But after the show, if everybody wants to run out and grab Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter paraphernalia, it is hot on the shelves today.
I just love that coop. Francine said all of a sudden she has a brave squirrel coming in through the automatic door. Any ideas to keep them out or what to do? And I have squirrels that have chased off my chickens.
Oh, cayenne pepper.
Okay, go on. What about cayenne pepper?
Squirrels are deterred by cayenne pepper because they're mammals and they can taste the heat. But chickens are birds and they cannot.
Okay, so elaborate. What do we do with the cayenne
You
pepper?
can sprinkle it in the coop and the food.
Yeah, if they're obviously coming in for the food, so you sprinkle that on the food, and they're deterred, and the chickens are not.
Carolina Coops cayenne pepper. So have you ever done this?
I haven't had the need to.
Right. That's fascinating.
But people use it in their bird feeders too, to keep the squirrels out.
Now, will you start tasting the cayenne pepper in your eggs?
I don't think so.
So that's a great tip. I never heard of that.
Some people use cayenne pepper in their chicken feed. They say it makes the chickens lay more eggs, but I don't see any.
I've heard that for using it in their feed for different reasons too.
I tell you, back in my extermination days, the first question is it a red squirrel, gray squirrel, black squirrels? And there's many. Gosh, it's all about prevention, and you got to reduce the population and then figure out why they're there. But obviously, they're coming to the coop, like you're saying, for the feed. That will probably help. And you got to remember, too, with pests, it's a learned behavior. So a lot of times you have to do a reduction, which is my gentle way of saying you got to eliminate the pest. So you stop that learned behavior, or you're going to keep having more come in and then eventually leave. So it's like you're probably not even going to know it's a different squirrel. But that's interesting.
Unless you use a paintball gun.
No, that's animal abuse.
No, that's just labeling the squirrel so you can keep track of it.
Oh, boy. We're going to catch hell for that one, Kristen.
It doesn't kill them. It labels them.
I was also thinking, 'cause I have a lot of squirrels that come in my area because of the fermented feeds I give them. They go for the sunflower seeds. But I have a bird feeder outside the chicken area. So maybe if they had easy access to a different food source.
Is it bad to have these critters? I mean, I just don't understand. What's the big deal?
It's not.
You're feeding birds. Just feed the squirrels and mice too, please.
Yep. I tend to agree, but I also don't want 4 squirrels in my chicken coop.
Again, let's make sure we do a show on pest related, and to that point,
I'll give them hats and
brings back a lot of memories. I would love to talk about that because you're feeding pests, and of course you have potential parasites, diseases, parasites being internal, external. So I can see, because here's what happens. Squirrels, when they're really, really bad, is when they get into your house. So if you are allowing a pest to come near your home, they don't have any boundaries. So now they get used to it, they get comfortable, they reproduce, and next thing you know, they're in your house chewing on wires and your house is on fire. It's really that. Richard Oakley says, Matt, I have a friend who has a small farm where her chickens free range in yard with cats, dogs, pigs, goats, ducks, sheep, and all get along. So let me be clear. But in this particular situation, the chicken's going to go everywhere, and they're going to get along. What I've had supposedly issues with is that when you have goats, in this case, try to get into the chicken coop to eat the feed. What I'm trying to do is figure out, in a homestead situation, where my dream is to have this community yard where they all go out together and they all have a relationship with each other where it's beneficial. But supposedly with goats, and mine did it all the time, they didn't die, but you can't have goats eat a bunch of chicken feed. And of course, the turkeys love the goat feed. So those are the things trying to figure out where we can keep that separated, which we've learned a lot, especially with our goat houses, which I don't know where we're at with that, Miss Sales Girl, Manager, Lady, but didn't we have a goat house?
I have a customer already.
You've already sold a goat house?
I would like to.
Well, we need to sell that goat house because I tell you, I've learned so much about goats. The gentleman that came today from South Carolina to pick up the hemp, on the back of his car says, I love goats or something like that. I was like, yeah, there you go. It is a great future. Goats for pasture control, milk, of course, meat. If you want to see a funny little video, I didn't get a lot of followers. I thought it was great, where we did a blind taste test of goat's milk. That was amazing. And I tell you, the goat's milk was amazing. Even though you could hardly tell the difference, we kept saying, if that's goat's milk, that is good. So...
all right, it's 1:30. I don't know if you want.
I know, I saw that. It is time to get going. Ingrid, thank you for showing up, even though you said you weren't going to. Does that mean I'm guilting? That's what everyone says. So, well, you're guilting her into it. I didn't say anything.
No. It was my decision this time.
Thank you. See?
This time.
For the record. All right, guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you next year.
That's right.
Friday. Hope you guys have a wonderful, safe, happy New Year. Take care.